back on FTA Sport after a thrilling 8-6 win for the Pitbulls against the Chelmsford Chieftains, and I'm delighted to say that, as always, I'm joined by Pitbulls head coach Jamie Elson. And Jamie, you just said to me walking up the stairs, all smiles now, and we can have a pretty nice conversation. Might have been a little different about half an hour ago.
Yeah, maybe about an hour ago actually, but yeah, what a roller coaster of emotions. And I guess that's why we love sport. You know, whether you're a coach or a player or a fan, you know, 1 minute you're high, 1 minute you're low, and nights like tonight don't come around very often, but when they do, they're memorable, and at the end of the year, you know, they'll be one of the ones we talk about for a long time.
Let's get the messy stuff out of the way, because I do want to concentrate on the spirit of the guys in the second and the third period. We got to talk about that first period. You've talked about slow starts. It was certainly a slow start tonight. Reading your comments to Lewis in the match report from last night, and seeing your reaction in the timeout tonight, was this the weekend where you started to show this team a little bit of tough love?
Yeah. I mean, that's not really my style, but it is. You know, we've got to a point where we've had to a little bit. It's tough because you know, coming into this year, the expectations were zero in terms of, like, you know, no one was expecting us to roll in here and be a title-leading team or anything like that. And you know, so the message from day one to the guys was, come in. You know, there's no pressure, there's no expectation right now. Come in, just buy into what we're doing. It's going to be a roller coaster. It's going to be a load of fun, and what we've done is we've created a lot of expectation, and that's a great thing. You know, we've created in a short space of time the expectations to win every night now. You know, and that's great. You know, that's a compliment to everybody involved here. The fans, you know, the rink, the organisation, Mike, Rich, the team. You know, we've bought in, and now fans come to games and expect us to win. And we turn up, whether we're here playing a bottom place team or we're playing Stretton, we're talking about winning games. And so it's hard, yeah. The guys now, the message is different. There's pressure to win a little bit, but you know, I always say, like, that's a great pressure. You know, you should, if you want to be a sports person, and you want to play competitive sport, they're the situations you thrive in, and just that's maybe where things have changed a little bit recently, and the pressure's kind of ramped up, and the message maybe has changed to the guys a little bit.
Expectation is always good, as you say. I said it in commentary, but this is kind of your chance to prove me wrong here. When you maybe, I don't know, 3 goals down, 4 goals down early on in the game, what I was saying is, you know, you got to get it back into it shift by shift, just those incremental gains. Is that the message on the bench from you? It's just, all right, we got to press the reset button a little bit? Yeah,
definitely. You know, we talked about coming out hard tonight and getting this building engaged and getting fans on the feet. We felt like we hadn't given the fans enough the last couple of home games. You know, we play 8-12 minutes last week, so, you know, we come out and we have a terrible, you know, horrible start. And then, you know, we just compound it shift after shift. And I was kind of biting my tongue on the bench as to, like, you know, when do I say something, or when does someone step up and kind of change the flow? And it just didn't really happen. And then you're 2, then you're 3, and, you know, we have to call that timeout, really. I feel like then I have to intervene and call a timeout and hit the reset. But, yeah, you know, in games like tonight, I think once we get to that 3-0 and once you get to that timeout, you're very much taking it, like, shift by shift. You know, you're talking about the guys just, let's have a shift. Let's play the right way. Let's play in the right end of the ice. Let's just stem the momentum a little bit. Let's generate something. Let's just get the building a little. So you're just looking for those small gains. Yeah, like, you know, can we get a great offensive chance? Can we get a power play? Can we just get something that's going to shift the momentum a little bit? And you know, that's when, you know, on any given night, you know, someone will step up, and you know, we had some guys step up tonight.
You're an X's and O's coach. I love talking to you about the X's and O's being an X's and O's coach, but sometimes you just got to say, you know, at least coming down the playoff stretch, the one thing you can say about the Bristol Pitbulls, you can say a lot of good things, but one thing you can certainly say, in the last 2 weekends have proved that at home, there's character in this team, there's tenacity in this team, and you don't know when you beat.
Yeah, for sure. It's just tough because, you know, like going back to the last question, you're sort of saying, I've had to show the guys some hard love and rant and rave and, you know, call out some home truths a little bit, and I don't take any pleasure in doing that, but it's hard because it's such a good group of boys. It's such a good group of guys that passionately actually care about what's going on here. Again, in a short space of time. You know, we talked at the start, you know, come on board, this is going to be a ride, we're going to fill this building, it's going to be a whole lot of fun. Like, you know, as we speak right now, there's stuff going on downstairs signing, it's unbelievable. And it's, yeah, you know, it's just tough. You know, it's I don't know. It's we have a you never say die attitude for sure. It's just so frustrating getting ourselves in those holes to begin with that we don't play 60. That's still the biggest frustration, that we don't play 60. But there is so much want and passion in the room for winning. Like the bench tonight, like, you know, we got guys like Kane Russell who could have played tonight, who's from obviously playing National League. we chose the decision with a full lineup not to use him tonight. You know, and when he plays, you know, he's an offensive star. But the decision was that, you know, the rest of the boys are going to be the group that ride the wave through the playoffs, and this needs to be the group. And so we backed those guys and we explained that decision. And you know, we want those boys to succeed, and they want it. Yeah, it's just frustrating that we get ourselves in that hole, because it's such an amazing group. They've come together so quick. There's so many. Yeah, it's funny because we're such a mismatched group of guys. Like, we just didn't know at the start of the year. We knew we had good characters, but you just never know whether that's going to gel. And in a very short space of time, it's a pretty special group. You can tell it's a special group because I think already guys are realising, like, you know, we're a very short spell away from this being over, and they're going to be pretty disappointed.
Just two more quick ones for you, because right now, I got to say, Jamie and Richie have organised a signing session down in the bar. There must be about 500 people below us, I think, in the bar. So I know you got to get down there. But again, how the Bristol ice hockey community has embraced this. You talked about it in your first answer, and again, we can talk about systems and breaking down analysis. Sometimes you just got to be a sports fan. And that third period, when you came out on the right end of it, we were excited in the commentary box. What was that bench like?
The bench is pretty wild. I actually, when we scored the 7th, I actually looked up and saw you guys jumping around. So it kind of made me smile. But yeah, we just, you know, in the last break, I just said to the boys, like, you know, the second was a good period. You know, we were out shooting them after 2, and we were the better team in the second. And just unfortunately, like, you know, we got punished for a few defensive errors. Otherwise, I felt like we would have pulled the game closer. But yeah, the message in the third was, I just said to the guys, like, last week we scored 3 goals in a 4-minute spell or something, where we just decided we were going to turn up and play. So, you know, the message was, imagine if we did that for 20 minutes, what could happen? And look what just happened. Like, you know, don't get me wrong, that's not going to happen every week, but, like, you know, that was the message. Like, imagine we can put that kind of determination into a 20-minute spell. We felt we had them on the back foot. Guys, it started to feel good in that second period. We showed that we can play and match them, and you know, we just talk about breaking it down into like 5-minute chunks. Like, let's get a goal in the first 5, and we did. And then let's get a goal in the next 5. And to be fair, the bench was, like I said, we're talking about being a tight group. You know, there's 1 or 2 guys who sat the last 20, where we trimmed the bench a little bit. And they're going nuts for guys down there. Like, the high-fiving guys who are coming off, they're cheering. You know, and that's just what it takes, whether you play the most minutes or the least minutes. Like, everybody's pulling the rope in the same direction. Like, we're all, like, everyone's in it together. They were desperate to win tonight, just desperate. And I just so frustrating that we played so bad at the start.
And just final question, because Richie Hargreaves is starting downstairs. I can hear him. You've mentioned to me a couple of times in this interview and other interviews, some things are more important than hockey. The Peace Not War night tonight, that's important, and a great auction or raffle going on right now. We couldn't talk about it last week. He was brave enough to come out. The club issued a statement. Tyler Perry, I think the whole ice hockey community just wishes him all the luck in the world. Yeah, for sure. It's some things are bigger than hockey. You know, we said that last week. You know, we weren't under the impression, obviously, last Sunday was going to be Tyler's last game. So, you know, there was a lot of emotions in the room, but we talked about winning a game for him, and that's why there was some emotion on the ice. You know, guys just feeling for Tyler, but also feeling that they let him down by not getting the win last week. But you know, it's the first thing I said after the game tonight. Like, we won a game tonight. If Tyler's last game is tonight, like, we did it the right way tonight, and we got him the W. And it's been pretty special seeing the like, kind of comments come in just from the hockey community. Like, you know, even we were in, you know, London last night, and they were making announcements from after the game. And you know, yeah, there are things going on that are bigger than hockey. The Ukraine appeal thing tonight. You know, I think we're a club that, you know, we want to be seen to be supporting and being in the community and doing the right things. And it's not a gimmick. You know, we're passionate about supporting that. The level of support that people have come out for it is pretty cool. And you know, between that and obviously Tyler, there's been a lot going on this week. But it's just great that we've come out the week, and something special is going on downstairs right now, and you know, obviously a special night on the ice. You should drop the mic. You should run downstairs. There is something special going on. Jamie, thanks as ever for your time on FTA Sport. No, always thanks.